The fact that all of Luffy's crew trust him that immensely, they will just run into adversaries' territory the way that they do, knowing full well they're at a huge disadvantage. They should not have ran and Dressrosa that way.
No.
At all.
Shit, when they went to Wano and they heard Luffy got bodied, all them niggas did an ugly face. They said, Luffy?
Exactly.
Monkey D. Luffy. It's got to be another Luffy out there. Straw Hat Luffy?
Right? With this
everybody got straw hats around here. No. Fuck that. That ain't my Luffy.
Yeah, they're trusting him.
They saw that picture and they said, the fuck? It's like, my nigga got bodied?
It's also a great testament to the storytelling and writing of One Piece, because it wasn't like they just had blind trust in him. He has helped each and every one of them to gain the confidence and abilities that they have now. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for him, none of them would be in the position that they're in.
Yeah,
that shows the trust that they have in him. Robin gave up.
It was mainly a respect.
Yeah, which turned into a trust. The scene that is like, to me, a defining moment where like you can see the trust that they have in Luffy, even though it's just extremely heartbreaking, is when Kuma was sending everybody away and Nami reaches out to Luffy.
She said, Luffy.
It's like you can see the trust she has in him, because the moment that she's about to die, she reaches out for the one person that she feels like could help her.
Yeah, because he has shown that he's done that, just like you said, to everybody in their own way. Mm-hmm. He literally went hard for all of them.
He dismantled empires for them.
Bruh, I gotta love Luffy, bro. Like, he is the best captain.
He dismantled empires for people he didn't know. Mm-hmm. All of Dressrosa was that. You didn't know a single person there, and you dismantled the entire empire for strangers.
Now, I'll say this. You know, he's one of the greatest captains, but he's not the greatest leader, though.
No, not at all. He's a terrible leader. That nigga is head first everything. Law has plans every time. And he's like, man, fuck that plan. I seen a meme that said they can't some along the lines of they can't anticipate or disrupt the plan if there isn't one.
Facts.
I was like, bro, that's exactly Luffy. If ain't no plan, they don't know it. They can't invade the plan. They can't interrupt the plan if ain't a plan.
Yeah, but I'll say this. They're trusting him. He has as much trust in them.
Oh, for sure. I don't know how many moments where Luffy should have been more concerned. He's like, it's my crew. They got it. I ain't worried about it.
Facts.
They'll be fine. They're in dire situations. Like, they got it. Yeah. I ain't worried about that at all.
Like, I fucking love how much they trust him. And like, I ain't saying this is a test of the trust, but it is to a certain degree. But when Zoro did his mantra after losing to Hawkeye, that nigga said, bro, I promise you. He said, I know that you deserve nothing less of the best swordsman. So he already was just like, my nigga, I know what you need. And I got to be that nigga. I will do that for you. I won't lose again, my nigga. I promise.
And again, that just shows like...
And then he passed out.
The trust that they have in him. And for as long as One Piece is, and I hate how long it is, a lot of it is needed because it shows their relationship over time. And it shows that they have the trust that they have in him because they've seen what he's done.
Yeah, and he exudes that trust. Even regular civilians be trusting this nigga.
Out of nowhere. They don't know who he is, but he punched the lights out of their oppressor. And now it's like, oh, this is that nigga right here.
Yeah, bro, like these niggas weren't even a part of the crew. And they held out at the front gates of Arlong Park and all these niggas showed up. They was like, nah, bro, we got to fight these niggas. He was like, nah, I ain't opening up shit until these niggas pop up. And that walkout was crazy, bruh. Mm-hmm. Soon as she was just like, Luffy, help, this nigga just said. And I love that they showed the little memory of how much he treasures the hat. And then Nami realized it. And then these niggas had the fucking coldest walk.
Yeah, that shit was hard, bro.
And bruh, I'm sorry, bro. I'd have been mad as fucking Luffy too, bro. You don't knock on my door that hard. Bruh. I thought it was the police. I thought it was the government. These niggas didn't bother me before. Why they kick my shit in? When he realized how much he took advantage of Nami, he had to destroy that shit. He had to show Nami that you are no longer chained to this place.
Yeah.
I fucking love that scene. And this nigga probably broke his spine how he did that battle axe kick.
Oh, yeah. Arlong was crippled.
Yeah, because, bro,
we seen him since?
I was about to say, we ain't seen that nigga since except for memories. this nigga.
We done seen every other villain Luffy has fought since besides Arlong. That's crazy.
Bruh.
That nigga is crippled.
I bet you his ego's like shattered too.
Who, Arlong?
Yeah.
Yeah, you built a whole empire that lasted as long as it lasted, and some teenager comes along and dismantles that shit in an evening. Yeah, fuck that.
And then how much you hate humans, and you just got draws by one, and you was talking about like you're the superior race. We're stronger than you.
You were the most feared in the East Blue. And a teenager came along and completely rattled your shit.
Bruh, it was impressive.
Extremely.
Like for me, I ain't gonna even lie. It was in Arlong Park that made me want to continue it, but it stamped it for me.
I don't remember where I was, what part, but Arlong, I think it may have been that part that made me go, yeah, this is that show.
Well, I'll say it was, I can't remember his name, but it was when it was up at Usopp's spot, and it was the butler, and the storytelling and the writing shows how great it was because he literally adjusted his glasses because, you know, he had the blades on his fingers. So he always did it with his palm. And that was because he was so used to always wearing that weapon. And they were given, like, of course, we couldn't have known that. You know, we didn't have enough information to be able to figure out. But for them to show that little subtle hint of this is why he moves his glasses in a certain way, I was like, man, like, so that was one of the things that made me continue wanting to watch it. But it was so many people, especially I watched that shit, like 2010?
I think it was Luffy that really made me go, no, I got to keep watching this. His character from the first episode has so much stupid charm to it.
Yeah.
Like, he was an idiot, but you could tell he was a decent and well-written character because his stupidity made him seem so careless. And obviously he is careless, or carefree, I should say. His stupidity made him so carefree, and it was the charm to that.
It was like his untainted purity that made me want to continue. Like, he was just pure of heart, and he was who he was, and he's true to his nature.
He was not afraid to call somebody stupid or punch somebody's lights out. And his way of getting people to realize how stupid they were in his own carefree yet rough way. Like,
Luffy is everybody's like true north because whenever you get around him, you can't help but dream. And then you're just like, nah, bro, this nigga is fully going for his shit. He said he was king of the pirates from the first episode.
This nigga punched the celestial dragon in the face.
Man, bro, I want to dive deeper into One Piece. I can't resolve myself to start over.
No, that's an undertaking.
Yeah, that's
you got to take that shit one step at a time. That shit is.
But I wanted to go back to. I love Luffy's ability, like, to make people want to dream again. Every person who he was around wanted to do something more than when he first met Sanji. Sanji felt like it was a pipe dream to found that sea that he was always told about that had like every fish, and then this nigga was gonna make a mean dish. He had plans, and he was just like, it's just a pipe dream. He was like, nah, nigga, you need to believe that shit. I don't care if it's not real. You carrying in that belief will make you keep pushing on. Don't give up on that shit. So every person he met made them want to become more true to themselves.
Cause that's all he was.
That's so good about like how they did so many main protagonists in shows. Cause Naruto had that too.
The only difference is One Piece took the time to develop theirs.
Yeah, they really did take their fucking time.
I was just looking at before you got here the Neji and Hinata fight.
He beat the shit out of Hinata, bro.
In the beginning, it looked like she was actually holding her own, which I was a little proud of. It's like she's actually still going blow for blow with him, and then he dismantled her whole shit.
They had to stop that shit.
They actually, after the fight, after she was coughing up blood from her heart, was like, put her on a stretcher. Like, she maybe got 10 minutes left. We got to hurry. It's like, Neji, what? Bruh, you almost killed her.
You sounded hood as a bitch. You said a scratcher.
Did I say scratcher?
You said he put on the scratcher, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Whoops.
Look at you.
My bad.
Quarter brick, half a brick.
I'm a product of my environment.
Good Lord. He said a scratcher.
Yeah, they put her on the stretcher, and she was having mad heart palpitation.
He was just like, yeah, I need to prove to myself, and y'all niggas gonna hear about this shit. I'm about to punish y'all fucking air. I'm about to beat the shit out of this girl. She deserves this. She did not
At all. She didn't do anything. It wasn't her fault.
He said, "Oh, she got a pure heart. I'm about to show that shit to y'all. I kill bitches too."
I kill bitches too.
Neji was that nigga. They built Neji up so good in Naruto, but then in Shippuden they just let that nigga. Well, they still kind of built him up to a certain degree because he was the only one that was a Jonin.
That shit was an afterthought.
The person that raised the most from their current position from Naruto to Shippuden was Gaara.
That nigga became a Kage.
Ain't no nigga over there that can test him
at all.
Like, they knew that he was already strong, but once he was able to control that anger, and it all resulted because of a fucking headbutt, bruh. Naruto collapsed that nigga with that headbutt.
He was another one that had that inspirational, motivational shit to him. Mm-hmm. He changed a homicidal maniac's perspective.
But he was still at an impressionable age, so.
True.
All he needed was to get beat up.
Right.
Let's be real with us boys. Nigga, fights built you. So.
Where I say most friendships as children, for boys anyway, is from a fight. Mm-hmm. We fight and then the next day like, "Yo, what's up, bro? You trying to play some 2K after school?"
Bro, straight the fuck up.
That's how most of them start.
Knock a nigga tooth out and was just like, "All right, bro, bet that shit on Tenkaichi." Put that shit on the line, fuck nigga.
Them living room brawls, bro.
Bruh. And it's just like how I say that Luffy has that ability to change you. Naruto had it in droves. This nigga gave Obito a fucking "I have a dream" speech, and that nigga changed.
Which was crazy because Obito had been at that shit since a childhood.
Well, it was stamped from that trauma seeing his homeboy just kill his homegirl. Like, he loved that girl.
And that nigga fully developed at that moment.
He was just like, "Oh, Obito, she got your heart? Chidori." I was like, Jesus.
I forgot why Kakashi had to do that.
Oh, because I might be getting this incorrectly, but I think she was getting taken by like some cloud ninjas because they was gonna make her the Jinchuriki. I didn't see that part more than once, so I might be messing that up.
I know it has something to do with something that couldn't be reversed or something like I know he just had to do it though.
Yeah, and you just seen that without any fucking information. Bruh, Kakashi, when I see you, is on motherfucking sight, bitch nigga. I promise you.
He held that grudge for decades.
Yeah. And, bruh, you gotta love Naruto because, I think they got that from, what was her name? Ino had the little mind transfer, and he got to see Obito's struggle, and he was like, bruh, that's me. And he actually empathized with him because Naruto cried when he seen his backstory. Like, bro, that's deep, bro. For you to have that much empathy for an enemy, that's
Naruto.
Yeah, bro. Like, you seen your girl get slammed on the ground from 10 stories up, and then when you seen the nigga who was responsible, you let him go, and that saved the village for real. Because that nigga would have not brought everybody back to life if it wasn't for that, bro. Naruto changed him.
That would have been Dunzo.
Yes,
Naruto, like. His ability to change people in the midst of a fight, like especially the pain one is the fight where it's like this nigga, all he knew was pain. So much so he changed his name to it, and you changed him like that.
And that's why that reunion they had during the fucking war meant so much to me. Because he was dragging around. Well, Itachi was dragging his lifeless body around. And I loved how he was just like, "Naruto, you grew." He was like, "Yeah, bro, I got this your new power and shit." He was like, "Nah, it ain't just that, bro. I can see it in your eyes. You a whole different nigga."
You talking about Pain telling Naruto that?
Just to think, bro, you literally did all that. Of course, you wanted to be acknowledged by the village, which was cool. But after you did the pain jump, you passed out. Kakashi was there. He had your back, walked you to the village, and then you got to get the acceptance you wanted all your fucking life.
That, I feel like, is one of the most gratifying and heartwarming scenes in the show.
Yes, I agree.
When he finally gets the acknowledgement he had wanted his entire life, and it's because he saved the village.
Yeah.
That is so satisfying. That the only other I feel like Naruto, outside of becoming Hokage, that scene is a close second, and as moments in his life where it's like, I worked my ass off to achieve this moment right here. That is absolutely inspiring.
That reminds me of like a quote from Black Clover when they were just like, "Bro, you don't become the Magic King or the Wizard King from just being strong. It takes merit." And Naruto did that shit over and fucking over. Bruh, Shukaku was on a fucking rage. Nobody was able to stop that shit. Did he have the ability to do Rasengan then?
No.
This nigga.
He had went with Jiraiya one time and he learned how to summon toads then. And he didn't have Rasengan.
And then he didn't summon the real deal until then. But he was falling to his death, nigga. That was all you could do. Hey, bro, how you gonna bring a nigga into that shit too? That's crazy, really now. That's irresponsible. Like,
yeah, extremely.
Like that nigga Gamabunta was just like, nigga, like, bro, what the fuck am I at? He was like, nah, but you're a real nigga to be able to summon me. I got your back right now.
Yeah, that boy Naruto is different. After rewatching the Chunin exams, the moment when everybody started swaying towards Naruto's side was after he fought Kiba. That's when everybody started like, oh no, this little nigga's actually like that. That's when Rock Lee
had a little potential.
That's when Rock Lee was like, oh, this my nigga right here. Plus, he stopped Naruto from fighting Neji right then and there after he beat the fuck out of Hinata.
Yeah, I'll say Rock Lee, like, I'd like him too because he was a person that stuck to his guns. But he probably, which all of us do, you guilty by association. You're around Sasuke, I know you a fuck nigga. But then when he seen that, oh, all right, you ain't like that nigga, bro. You actually cool.
That's
my
when
nigga,
them niggas got cool. That's when him and well, they were kind of sort of friends before that because they did show. I saw a little flashback before where Shikamaru and Choji were hanging out with Naruto when he was a kid. So, but even then, like that during the Chunin exams is when all of them started really getting cool.
And the parents ain't shit, bro.
Not at all.
There's a little fucking kid. It was like, hey, don't get around my kid. You pass the ugly around.
I mean, I understand it. If I want to play devil's advocate, I understand it because they knew what happened to the village because of the demon that's inside of that boy.
Okay.
So it's understandable. Simultaneously speaking, that is not his fault.
No, not his at all.
And his dad is the one that saved the village. Y'all owe it to his parents to look after him.
Yeah, and nobody did. Only nigga who really looked out for him was Aruka Sensei and then the nigga who gave him ramen.
Aruka Sensei?
No, the dude at the ramen shop.
Oh, yeah, you talking about the owner. Okay. Yeah. Well, the third Hokage somewhat
Excuse me?
I said somewhat.
Excuse me? This nigga Naruto had to use his own money. He lived off of top ramen. This nigga had to save. This nigga didn't eat anything else but that for years. How can you expect a child to grow naturally? This nigga is just raised on sodium. That's crazy, bro.
No wonder his ass was so dumb all the time. That brain rot was killing his
ass. Crazy, bro. Crazy. And you just walk up to his crib, see his junkie as a bitch, and be like, have a good one, Naruto. I'm like, bro, just no.
I told you there was a scene when they literally walked in Naruto's house. The third and Kakashi walked in his house, seen the mess. Kakashi pointed out this nigga had spoiled milk. Y'all ain't do shit. Y'all just carried on like this shit ain't happened.
Bro, all y'all could have just literally just subtly gave him help. Like, when Naruto's out on the mission, come back, he got groceries. Y'all niggas didn't do shit.
Something. Y'all just threw him to the wind.
Y'all ain't even help that nigga take out the trash. Y'all just like, hey, bro, just get this nigga plastic spoons so he don't gotta do dishes. That's crazy.
My only thing about it is, if they really didn't like Naruto that much, who nurtured him as a baby until he could walk and talk on his own? That's my question. Somebody clearly had to have been there for him. He couldn't just take care of himself as a baby. Somebody was there until he could, like, responsibly, quote unquote, take care of himself. Who the fuck was that?
They had the Anbu just trying to help this nigga out. That's crazy, bro. They were like, oh, we're gonna help Naruto out in the darkness.
And what kind of sinister ass person takes care of a child until they can walk and talk and then throws them to the wind after that?
Bro, they lucky that, like, Naruto is just blessed that they don't have bills. Naruto would have been out back, bro. This nigga, he was like, bro, I don't even use the light that much, so I be in darkness all day.
That nigga,
I only use the light if I got company.
He reads scrolls by moonlight,
bro. That's crazy. That's crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah, that whoever that person was that took care of him until he could, again, quote unquote, take care of himself was a sinister asshole. Because from like 8, Naruto was taking care of himself.
Shit, probably lower than that, bro.
Because I still remember.
It was like, oh, thank God he can walk and talk. Let's dip, nigga. This nigga's finally sustained. He can
like
sustain
3.
his own life.
As soon as you started saying believe it, they dip.
Oh, yes, thank God, bro. I was getting tired of checking on this little nigga. Gosh, bro. Man, he put me on a mission for a child. Man, fuck this little nigga, bro.
Every time they changed his diaper, they were reminded of the sins because they could see the fucking seal on his stomach.
I was like, I gotta change this devil baby. Oh my gosh, bro. Oh my gosh, bro.
That's just so fucked
I bet you they
up.
were just low key talking shit to him when he was crying. He was like, I ain't trying to do shit for you, little nigga. What's your parents? Oh, they're not here, are they? Like, yo, brother, cut the lights off.
At least with Sasuke, by the time his whole clan was wiped out, he could, quote unquote, take care of himself. Mm-hmm. Not Naruto. Who the fuck was feeding him bottles? It's crazy.
Bruh, they used to play the Naruto fight music to put him to sleep. Thank God, shut this little devil baby up. Nigga cry all the fucking time. Would your stomach hurt?
Even Gaara, his backstory, there was still somebody there taking care of him.
Yeah, that did not like him.
Still somebody there.
Yeah, that's true. That's about how the other niggas felt about Naruto. They just didn't show themselves.
I'm just so perplexed. I'm like, somebody had to be there and they abandoned his ass the second they got the opportunity to. Mm-hmm. That's absolutely sinister.
Bruh, that's crazy.
What kind of craziness is that?
I'm just feel bad that I never thought about that.
I've thought about it for so long.
I was like, bro,
somebody was there and they abandoned him. The second they got the chance. Crazy.
Bruh, Naruto would have been a whole different nigga if he was getting breastfed by Tsunade. Bruh.
He would have been Jiraiya.
Bruh. No, hell no. He'd have been way stronger. It wouldn't have been close. Think about that natural strength he'd have got from them. Oh my gosh, bruh. He'd be about 7 feet.
Them titties full of testosterone.
Bruh.
Does the body good.
This nigga would have had a beard at 2.
Big blonde ass beard.
Bruh, straight the fuck up.
That is crazy.
He taking the exam, petting his beard. This question is interesting.
Nigga would have been the smartest in the class.
But nah, that brain rot from all that sodium made him dumb, which made him believe it. Like, so if he'd have had like that type of nourishment,
that nigga was literally living on a prayer.
Bruh, if he'd had that sort of nourishment, he'd have been smarter than like Shikamaru easily. He'd have been nourished off of like the first Hokage's genes. Good Lord, bro. Good.
Already being a disciple basically in spirit.
Bruh.
And now you get his actual genetics on top of that?
Bruh.
He would have been unstoppable force. He was already an unstoppable force.
Bruh, I'm telling you, it'd have made Kurama stronger. He'd have broke out early.
I would have re-destroyed the village all over again.
But nah, nah, Naruto would figure it out. With that sort of nourishment, he'd have had a great brain. He'd have knew how to seal him again. That nigga would have knew jutsus that nobody told him.
That nigga brain is a superpower.
As soon as he'd be like, something's happening in my stomach. Demon seal jutsu. How do you learn that, Naruto? From the nourishment.
It's genetics. Don't worry about it.
That nigga would have had like ninja, like he'd have had fucking medical ninjutsu. He'd have had auto regeneration. He probably would have had the Sharingan. This nigga would have been strong. I'm telling you, that question.
That nigga would have been the Ichigo of the Naruto universe. Had everything.
We would have never tested that shit. We were like, bruh, Naruto can beat Goku. Yo. Oh my gosh.
What the fuck?
Oh my gosh.
Naruto would have beat Goku.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so in anime, which fictional death hurt you the most?
You know which one I'm gonna say.
I think I'm saying the same one.
I stopped the whole anime because of this.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, bro. Kamina was, oh my gosh.
Gurren Lagann. I stopped the anime for like 2 months. I couldn't keep watching. That shit hurt too much. And that voice acting during that part, nah, that death hurt me too much. Outside of that one,
Maze Hughes. That was mine.
Yeah, Maze Hughes. That one hurt.
I'll say this though. Like, Kamina dying was crippling, but the story was so well done from Full Metal that even though we was hurt by that, we was stunned by that, nigga, we was still too curious to stop that anime.
Oh yeah, that shit ended, I think.
And I feel like that pacing was the best I've ever seen, because we did start off a little on the lighter side, but we picked that shit up so fast and ran, and I'm telling you, it was a marathon.
The anime, I can't even say. I was gonna say the anime somewhat started on the lighter side, but that motherfucker, the dog shit happened early on in that anime.
But I feel like, especially with Full Metal, they really help you to explain the situation enough to be able to continue the anime, because you was like, all right, these niggas going for the Philosopher's Stone. Why? Because the first episode was them going for that priest.
Yeah,
and they explained very briefly, but it was enough to get you through it to know why they were going for that.
That anime is a great example of pacing, because the anime is only like 60, 65 episodes, but it feels like they still take their time explaining the story without it doesn't feel rushed with the story at all, and they still manage to give you proper explanations of everything within those 65 episodes.
Yes, I really think that was a well-paced anime. Speaking of bad pacing, I'm watching Remonster. Nigga, he'll do one thing. It'd be like day 1. He'd be like, all right, I'm not to just train. Doom, day 2. I'm like, damn. But they didn't even care about stopping to even show you the training. They'd be like, oh, well, today I just went out and trained with the little skeletons. Doom, day 3. Yep, I think I'm going to work on some items. Doom, day 4. I'm like, yes. I'm like, y'all getting only to the bread and butter. Like, I love this shit. Like, I was like, I'll say this. It ain't the greatest anime. I will not suggest this shit to anybody. But I am enjoying that shit. This nigga got overly powerful in 3 episodes. But
I don't know. I like my animes to I don't want to say take their time, but like the perfect example for me is Solo Leveling. Did an excellent job at pacing out how this character got stronger over time. And it was only, 12, 13 episodes?
Yeah.
And they did...
Well, it was 12 episodes for the anime and one fucking stupid-ass recap.
We not to talk about that.
We talking about it. Why the fuck did we need a recap at episode 7?
0.5.
This nigga had to put the 0.5. He was just like, bro. Put that more in the bag, bro. That 0.5 count.
But yeah, they did an excellent job in them 12 episodes of giving you a full understanding of the universe and giving you a perfect pacing and example of why this character got stronger over time. It didn't feel rushed. He was not strong from episode 1, but you felt his impact as he slowly got stronger and stronger.
Or I feel like with Deku, his pacing was well done too.
Deku's pacing was amazing.
Like, he literally crawled to where he got to. Like, literally, he was on that beach crawling. this nigga, bro. That shit was, it's interesting. Like, when you see somebody build up and it's like natural, it's good. Naruto's was done well.
Yeah, Naruto's and the original Naruto, yes, it was done well. Shippuden took too long.
To a certain degree, when you seen Naruto's, I'll say this, Shippuden showed this early when they did the, the Bell test again. When they showed how advanced Naruto was thinking on using his clones, because there was one time he was in the air and he went to attack Naruto in the air and he just did a shadow clone and made his shadow clone move him to a different direction. So that tells you now he's being a lot more innovative when it comes to using his shadow clones. Pain was a very good example of him utilizing his shadow clones in a way more advanced way.
Definitely.
I think I'm misunderstanding this, but I might be wrong. Did he make a Rasen Shuriken a shadow clone?
I don't remember.
Because I remember he threw it and then it was absorbing it and then like Naruto popped out and then grabbed him and then the other one jumped out and then like Rasengan and I can't remember. I need to rewatch that. Yeah, I got to rewatch that before I just say that was the thing.
We're talking about Hunter x Hunter and the Greed Island arc where they play the dodgeball game. I had forgotten before they even did that they were basically like had to pass the obstacles of like challenging the individuals that were there. I forget who they were or why they even had to do that in the first place. Well,
after they finished their training with Bisky, that's when they were just like, all right, now let's collect all the cards to be able to get out of here. Because at one point they realized that, their nin, they had nin, but it wasn't as superior. So then Bisky ended up making them understand their training better because, That's why she did in the middle of the training. Certain times she'll do something, she'll put her finger up, and they got to tell her the number. But the nin that she was using was invisible, so you had to put your nin in your eyes to be able to see the number. So she was making them understand like nin manipulation.
I just forgot why they had to go to that group of people. Because I do remember them saying, "If we beat you, y'all leave."
Yeah,
but I forgot why they had to do that.
Well, it was the card that they had to get because it was a card that basically they get after they beat him, and they had to go to like the light tower, cut on the light, and then it was just they had to view the scene, and then the card showed up. But before that, they had to get 15 people to even play it.
Yeah, that's the part that I was going to talk about. This is another example of why I love Killua so much. Because during that shit, he was like, we should lose on purpose just to gauge their abilities. And then go back and gather a team that we feel like is adequate for this.
And then I ain't gonna even lie, when I was first watching that, I got disheartened because as soon as he was just like, let's gauge it, then we'll go in. And the other team was like, oh, no, we gonna leave because we were just trying to make sure them other niggas, the bombed group, would not get this card. So we know that they can't get this many people to do this fight. All right, we out. I was like, damn, bruh.
Bitch ass nigga.
Yo, but that one boxer got faded. Because, you know, when they did the boxing tournament, because they had to do like basketball, they did boxing. It was a couple other different arrangements. When that one dude who was, I think he was a mitter, and he was punching his nin at the dude, and he was piecing this nigga up. And then out of nowhere, this nigga did his
uppercut that teleported right at his
chin, bro.
It's crazy. But they did. I like how they explained that dude can only do that in the ring.
Yeah.
He cannot do that outside of the ring, which is like, your power sucks.
Well, that's the same kind of explanation like with Kurapika. He couldn't do his power was useless against anybody else except for the spiders.
Which is a crazy stipulation to put on yourself.
But it made him stronger.
Yeah. And that showed his resolve. Like,
yes.
I don't give a single fuck about anybody else besides these niggas. And in order to get stronger for these niggas, I'm willing to put this type of handicap on myself.
And I think he put he chained his own heart with that chain.
Yeah.
Like, Kurapika's resolve was next level.
It was absolutely astonishing.
It was definitely never mind. I'm not gonna go there.
Something crazy.
No. I was just about to say, yeah, it was definitely heavily influenced by Sasuke.
Didn't it come out before? At least the original one?
I don't know, but I mean, with the eyes, the family dying, the very sinister energy.
We got to fact check that. But yeah, I get it.
I'm about to say.
But yeah, they that was an example of why I like Killua so much, that his ability to gauge things and then re-strategize accordingly. That being said, Gon stole the show during that dodgeball game.
That nigga's stupid.
He's stupid, but he was coming up with a lot of the major plans that got them the victory during that dodgeball tournament.
I'm gonna be real with you. I understand that, but as soon as this nigga Razor threw the ball seriously for the first time, what did this stupid ass nigga do? I'm gonna catch it, nigga.
With his damn near his face.
Bro, because they even gave an example of how heavy that dodgeball was. They said it's like a bowling ball.
It shattered homeboy whole spine apart.
Bruh.
Down there.
Bruh, crippled that old nigga. I laughed so hard on that part. I was like, bruh, that nigga liver is shattered.
Yeah, he was out of the game for the rest of the game.
He was folded on the ground, bro. I laughed so hard.
He was holding his hip like somebody grandma.
And then this nigga Razor was just like, okay, he's out. But what he did was impressive. What he did was at the last second putting in on the side to minimize the damage.
Otherwise, he'd be dead.
Otherwise, he'd be dead. Medical team? I was like, bruh, that man is crippled on the ground.
He was hurt. I like how he was hating on Gon and Killua too on the sidelines. He was like, bruh, for all intents and purposes, I have more skill and experience than these two. Their reaction time and reflexes are crazy though. But I like that scene because it emphasizes the importance of having a strong foundation with the basics.
Yes, because I like that he said I might need to go back to the basics to build himself back up properly.
I really like the emphasizing of that in particular.
And I think that they was doing an attest to like how Bisky was just like, no, y'all don't know the basics. Y'all know Nin. That's fine. But y'all need to build a solid foundation. And she made them do an assortment of different trainings to be able to build them up properly. I need y'all to be able to manipulate your nin in all situations. So for a kid, for them to know Ko, to be able to put that much dense nin at that one spot, showed that shit. Because when Razor threw the ball at who did he throw it? It was Gon. Yeah, I'm tripping. When he threw it at Gon and he did Ko to stop it, Gon realized I didn't fucking put that shit on my feet.
And
I just put it
his ass out his boots.
And bruh.
His boots was the only thing on the field, and it was bleeding from the head, looking goofy.
It was one scene that I fucking died laughing on when it was explaining all of the different rules. This nigga Gon's brain was getting fried so much he was about to turn to a Titan. That smoke was rising, bro.
That nigga sound like an egg in the pan on the side.
He was like, don't worry about it, bro. If anything gets difficult, we'll try to explain it in a way that you understand.
Exactly.
Bruh.
Now that scene when Razor first put his nin in the ball and then
that nigga so quick.
chucked it at old boy, and all he saw was the One Punch Man death
He was
flying towards him, and instantly was like, nope, switch it out.
He's a white ape, help me. I was like, bro.
And then he was on the sidelines kneeling like he actually got hit. That nigga was comatose on the side for a minute. He was like, bruh, he was shaking, sweating and shit, kneeling down like he had actually already been hit.
Dude, and then I like how they emphasized it. Was like, yeah, he's seen real trauma. He is no use no more.
At all. He was shaking up and then thought he could get his get back on Razor by switching him out.
Razor's get back was so fucking quick, bruh. Because they made it seem like this nigga Razor just got hit and he was like, damn, all right, that's cool. He can use back. Hell no. This nigga got that ball back, and while he was looking away, I was like, ugh.
He smacked that nigga so hard in his shit.
He's lucky that it was one of this nigga's nin puppets that hit him in the face with that. If that was Razor,
his head wouldn't be there anymore.
Decapitated.
His head would be outside.
Bruh, I laughed so hard in that part. He was like, yeah, I got him back. I was like, ugh. I was like, bro, he gonna look different.
That's dangerous. That was
yeah, that was nasty work.
I like how Gon during that match thought, if I hit this ball at number 13, he ain't as strong as Razor is. This is gonna force him out, and that's exactly what happened. Forces that. But it also that shows Killua's dedication to Gon. He was tearing his hands apart.
Wait a minute. Before that, I think that was Hisoka. Yeah, it was Hisoka. I love that they did that because, you know, Hisoka hit a nigga and then used the bungee gum to get the ball back. And it was like, oh, yeah, Hisoka can finish this shit. And he threw that shit, and then Razor's wherewithal made it so he was just like, oh, you about to get my nin puppet out? Let me fuse these niggas together. And I had the strength to catch it. I ain't gonna even lie. I was like, damn, Hisoka's out. And ain't say shit about that. I was like, wait a minute, I thought you out if you catch it.
Was it if you're out if you catch it?
I don't think they put that as a rule. I just took that in my head. I was just like, oh, he out.
I think if you just hit, I don't remember now.
They explained the rules at the beginning.
But them shits, I was like going in that moment. My head hurt.
Well, I know they were saying, like, I know when they was talking about the in and out, the people on the outside, shit like that, I was losing it. But I think, like, they made it very clear when they said if a person get hit, they out. If a person gets hit and then somebody else catches it, that person that threw it was out. I swear that was one of the rules. So I thought you catching the ball would get him out, but he was still in. I don't think it said
anything about catching. I'm not sure though.
I know one thing though. This nigga Razor was on demon time. He almost ended Hisoka because when they did that curve, because I loved how this scene happened. Because you remember when he threw that curveball, Killua, if he wouldn't have went that right way, he'd have died.
For certain.
And then Bisky dodged it. And then when Bisky dodged it, you seen Hisoka like lean back to dodge it. And then we think that scene is over. That nin nigga grabbed that bitch and went at Hisoka's face. Bro, you could have just hit him in the foot. He was going for kills.
And he made that very clear when the first time he threw the ball, he almost took that nigga head off. Mm-hmm. He made it very clear, nah, I am out for blood. Fuck all of y'all. I don't know y'all. I used to be a criminal, and I'm going to show y'all why.
And Razor is crazy, bro, because he gave them a handicap. Because at the beginning of the dodgeball game, he let them get 2 free hits. And he's like, now we're ready to play. They're like, what the fuck you mean by that? When they was passing that ball around, nigga, I'd have ran off the fucking dodgeball court. I'd have ran off that
I'd have
bitch.
quit after the first throw.
Shit.
The killer was said this shit is as heavy as a bowling ball, and he's tossing it like it's a not even a soccer ball, a golf ball.
Nigga, and with perfect synchronization. Because these niggas was catching that bitch. It was a perfect diamond. Nigga. I'm out. I'm out. Please, I can't do this.
He was not playing. He meant business.
But
and especially after he found out that was Gen's kid. He's like, yeah, no, he told me not to hold back on you at all, so I'm coming for blood.
He really was.
For blood.
And I like one thing about Hunter x Hunter, they let every single person's like personality, thought process influence the game.
Yes.
So I really enjoyed that. Now, Hisoka, you didn't really, it showed his to a certain degree, but he didn't get too deep into it. It was more of like, he was actually being the perfect team player.
Oh, for sure. He had no arrogance and during that at all. Like, which was weird. Until that moment, I wouldn't have expected Hisoka to be such a team player, especially with his pedophile ass, 2 children on the field with him that he lusted over. But then it makes sense because he wants to see them succeed, because the better they get, the more competition he has later.
Yeah.
So it does make sense.
He was not going to cut the petal of a blooming flower. He's going to let that bitch bloom and then pick it when it's at its best.
That scene when he was looking at them niggas' asses,
that's crazy,
was absolutely absurd, and they felt that shit was like, Hisoka, get in front of us right now.
Right the fuck,
get in front of us
now.
right now. No. That nigga was in the back creaming in his shorts.
He was just like, oh my gosh, these little niggas. He was like, nope, get up front.
Nah, that scene when they first came up on him and he was in a hot spring or whatever,
Bisky was ready to jump on that nigga.
And the first thing they noticed was looking down like, oh, nah, this nigga's getting hard.
He was like, hey, bro, we in the wrong scene with the wrong nigga.
Exactly.
Bro, if he just ran at us, we done.
Because the first thing he noticed was, oh, y'all got better with Nin. I'm like, bro, stop.
And this is when I say I had terrible memory, because I remember him only doing the rock, paper, scissors, Jajankin twice. I didn't know it was 3 times. But you went over this a little bit. I did love how much Killua trusted Gon.
So much he was willing to damn near have his hands ripped off.
Bro, that nigga looked like he was holding, like he had like 5 gloves on.
And even when he had somebody say, yo, I can do this to ensure that you don't get hurt, and he was like, fuck no. And it shows Gon's trust in Killua as well. He's like, no, I can't do this without him. I need him here so I can go all out. No, there is no replacing him.
And I love that they gave you subtle hints that Gon realized it. Because after the first one, he looked down, looked up, and then because when they said something about it, he looked down and looked up, and he was like, let's go. Because he realized Killua's hands was fucked up. And then when they were saying, like, they was like, no, take that shit out your pocket, nigga. Gon was like, nigga, I already realized it.
Like, I knew before y'all knew, so mind your business.
I was like, bro, no, I know this nigga's pain tolerance. Trust me. They was like, no, I know you feeling it. They was like, you don't know how he was raised.
He was tortured.
Bro, this nigga.
He's fine. I also say that Gon was the highlight of it because, like I said, a lot of the plans he was coming up with, especially the last one, in order to get the ball back from Razor, that formation that they had at the end, Gon came up with that. And
I love that the old general on the side explained who was the MVP of that, which was Killua.
For certain.
Because he was just like, no. It was 1% room for error. He literally had his Nin manipulation so well because he had to use his feet, put it on his back, his whole body. His input and output had to be precise.
To a T.
I still don't think that they would have, even if it did crumble, Hisoka would have did something to stop that shit.
He could have. He probably would have came up with something.
Yeah,
in that moment. But just again, Killua's ability to adapt and maintain his Nin so effectively like that is crazy. Like, that is crazy.
Like, they both got the same training, but his talent level and adaptability is on a different level. That's why, like, I love that before they even went to Greed Island, you had to go through like a little exam and show your shit. And then you just see, I think Gon went first. And, I can't remember who went first, but everybody just like, all right, the little kid, let's see what he do. And you just see hear like an earthquake, and that nigga they were like, yep, you good. But Killua already got to the point where he was manipulating electricity at that time.
Yeah, because he did that shit onto that too when they had to they had the qualified to be able to even take the challenges in the first place or something.
Mm-hmm.
And the dude made the little fire ring and said, if you get pushed out of this ring, you don't qualify or whatever. And
yeah, and then he hit him in the face with some alcohol to set him on fire.
Now he's seen what time that big nigga was on in the first place when the first dude couldn't push him out, so he held him over top of the fire.
Over the flames.
Like, why the fuck was that even necessary? And Killer was like, yeah, I'm not stepping in this ring with you like this. Teleported to where the liquor was, threw it in his face, and sparked a flame on his face in order to make him run out. And that there just shows Killua's talent for strategy and just processing a situation and adapting to it accordingly.
But even though, and I know they always say there's no honor amongst thieves, but there's honor amongst murderers, because even when he got his face burnt off, he went to charge at Killua, and then the other one stopped him. It was like, nah, nigga, there's rules to this shit.
Exactly.
I love that scene. But just like how you said that, I fucking loved how much Killua and Gon trusted each other. But I'm a sucker for reactions. So when they first seen him do the first one, everybody was shocked. It was like, oh shit, this nigga a little strong.
You talking about when he did the rock paper?
Yes. When he did the first Jajankin, and everybody was like, oh, this nigga, like, they was like, bro, his nin spiked. Okay, this nigga's a beast. Then he did the first one. And I love this shit. This nigga punched. This nigga didn't even look to see if it hit the nigga. That nigga was just looking down, and everybody's like, oh, he caught it. That nigga, Gon was like, nah, nigga, I'm too cold for that shit. Bandana Gon is too hard.
Bandana Gon is too hard.
Bruh, you knocked him out his shoes when he ain't had that bitch on. As soon as he put that rag on, that nigga did hard shit for his set. That nigga won't play him, bruh. That
Gon did, I like what happened where when Gon punched it at Razor, and then Razor spiked it back, and in that moment where they thought Gon wasn't gonna let that shit go, and then he just passes the fuck out.
I was gonna crawl to that one because I wanted to do the first one, which knocked that big nigga that fused together out the ring to get him out. Mm-hmm. And then the second one, I believe, because he did.
The second one, I think he hit.
Yeah, because it was a nin beast.
Razor.
It was a nin beast in there. And then he got hit, and then that's when he went back out. He used back, and then that's when they had to do their formation to stop that fucking crazy spike. Nigga, I didn't even think about that he was gonna do a fucking serve.
Yeah, that was crazy. He served a golf ball, not golf ball, a
fucking bowling ball.
That's crazy.
So I thought, and then it did show at the end of the fight, like his hand was red. So after the whole thing, like when Gon got his consciousness back, you see like his hand was red, so it did affect him. But that's like, I like how they did that catch, and then they explained how fucked up Killua's hands were.
It ain't got to be explained. You can see it.
That nigga had a grown man's hands after that, bro.
That nigga had elephant toes.
That nigga had elephantitis in his hands, bro. That shit was crazy. But I liked how, like, I'll say this. I really wish that the reactions was a little bit better on the third one. This perverted ass nigga, when he did the second one, when he was charging it up, because at first he was just like, here comes Rock. And then when it fucking got concentrated, you see this nigga fucking he said, oh. I was like, shut the fuck up, bro. I was like, bro, stop.
He's improving.
And I'm gonna say that this nigga is horribly perverted, because when this nigga Gon came up with the idea, he was like, oh, this is interesting. They was like, all right, well, let's see what we can do. He said, no, I want to do this. I was like, bro, because you behind two kids, bro.
Exactly.
I was like, bro.
Nasty work.
And then when he was like, oh, we going to do the plan? I was like, bro, he couldn't hold in his excitement, bro. That is disgusting, dog.
The fact that they could get away with a character like Hisoka is crazy.
And everybody loves him.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
The fact you can get away with that is crazy.
Something that we all collectively hate, we accepted in him.
He was an A1 grade A top of the list pedophile.
They were just like, oh, perverted Gambit is perfect. But I love on the third one, just like how you were saying, like, Razor didn't put any nin on his feet. It was only his hands.
He put it on his feet during the last when the Gon spiked it the last time.
He didn't have it on his feet. He had it only on his hands. For Razor to have that level of lower body strength to not literally stop, you seen when he had to put it on his fucking feet the other time.
Yeah, that's the one I was confusing it with.
For the third time, he had that much dense nin to bump it back at Gon And then everybody just like, oh, Gon dies. Thank God. Oh, he passed out. Yeah. We won. And then Hisoka, being a team player, he said, no, this nigga Gon said he wants a complete victory.
And that's when I knew he actually did somewhat care about Gon.
Yes.
Enough to preserve his pride.
Yeah, because he needs you in pristine shape when I fight you later. And then I love, oh my gosh, when he was setting up that bungee gum, all his fingers cracked. So it looked like he probably broke his 2 fingers when he caught the ball earlier.
He broke almost all his fingers catching that ball.
Because I think it was his 2 left fingers. Like it was his pinky and his ring finger. And, you know, he kind of like said it before. But it showed that this nigga had that much pain resistance. And when he did that shit, you heard like, and then he caught that bitch. For him to be that much of a fucking prodigy to... Instead, we just think that, okay, in my mind, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, oh, they just gonna keep volleying this shit. But he put the bungee gum onto the ball. So now that weight gonna push you out. That was fucking genius, dog.
Yeah, that was a good fucking match.
Like just watching it as a fan, you would think that's great. But how you was breaking it down on the thought of the moves that like, just like how like, you can just look at it and just listen to the old dude and think like Killua's a prodigy. How you broke it down before and said like, no, Killua, that nigga, like for him to just think, let's look at this first and then go. And then you get to see how Gon thought of doing that whole formation to be able to, first off, Gon put Nin in his hands to stop the ball, Killua to stabilize them using Nin, and then for fucking Hisoka to use his bungee gum to smother it.
And Gon was the one who thought of that.
That's crazy, bro.
It's insane.
So I love that it showed. That's why I was saying earlier how it shows, you know, everybody's like experience, mentality. They're smart. It affects everything. Everybody had a scene where their mindset affected the game in a positive way.
I like how that formation also still shows Gon's personality with his recklessness, because you had to put a lot of trust into people not knowing, especially with Killua, which is understandable. He trusts Killua, but Killua can only be off by literally 1%. If it was any more than that, that whole formation would have rattled y'all.
Yeah, and you chose the positions perfectly. And you already knew Hisoka was going to be completely fine.
He wrapped his arms around them boys.
This nigga, the whole time, he wasn't even thinking. He was just like, I'm in heaven.
Exactly.
But yeah, I like how they did explain like Gon using his Nin to be able to smother it. Gon, not smother it, but to stop it. I'm sorry, bro. I underestimated how immense Gon's Nin was. Because for him to do, you did the Ko, then you did you did 2 Jajonkins, and then use a lot of Nin to stop the ball, and then did that last one. And I was going to bring this up earlier. I hated how they didn't really show people's reaction on the third one. And the third one, he was in gold form.
Oh yeah, that when you see him powering it up, it's like a will in his fist.
Yes,
that shit was crazy.
Yes, I'll say they spent more time on that second one on animation, because this nigga had like sprinkles coming out. And this nigga Hisoka ate that shit up. Everybody was like, oh, he's strong. His Nin is immense. I was like, no, bruh.
Sweet, stop.
I was just like, bruh, don't do that.
I'm uncomfortable and I love this show.
and then I love when they ended up winning, and then everybody was just like, when Gon got his consciousness back, he was like, yo, what happened? He said, oh, well, Killua did this to, not Killua, Hisoka did this to be able to win the match for us. He was like, yes, I feel like we should be a good team. Nigga, that don't sound like you.
At all. You just want me around, nasty nigga.
I was like, we dispersing after this, sir.
Yeah, you go on about your business. Get out my face.
Yeah, bro. I love that shit, but I love that, how they explained that everybody deserves a second chance on Jing meeting Razor, and was just like, he was on fucking death row. And then he ended up like contracting this nigga out on Greed Island. And then for you to have that much respect, because you don't have no respect for human life. You murdered people. But for Jing to have that much of an influence to you to do this, my nigga, he was basically saying, hey, raise my child for me.
Yeah. Which is, he is such a horrible dad.
Yeah, he's the worst anime dad.
The worst anime
Second
dad.
worst.
Who's the worst? Never mind. I know.
Shao Tucker.
I know.
Yeah, that's the number one.
You ain't even gotta say it. But yeah, he's the second worst anime dad ever. Like, you let the world raise your kid for you.
You just naturally knew. You was like, who's worse than? Oh,
never mind. My brain said, "Nigga, think,
bruh.
It's your favorite anime." You know.
Yeah. Because I'm gonna just like brush on this a little bit. Like for you, all the other anime dads still cared about their child's development. You cared about your work more than your child's life,
which is absolutely insane.
Like, bro, like they pressured you to come up with something with the chimeras that much that you fucking use your daughter, nigga.
You claim
how many homeless people is in this fucking world that you could use? You have the pick of the litter out there.
Oh my god,
bruh, just throw a coin, throw another coin, throw another coin. Right to the laboratory. There you go.
Oh my god, baiting them niggas with quarters is crazy.
Yes, my nigga. Yes, my nigga. Hey, this
oh my god.
Hey, I paid for your labor. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, Lord. I'm so sorry, Lord. I'm so sorry.
That is fucking. I paid for your labor. All right, bro.
But yeah, he is the second worst father of all time. He did other things to raise his son, but that shit is crazy. Like when your son was on the hospital bed dying, Killua went to save him, not you.
And you didn't even visit,
my nigga. And then
you knew about it.
And then the thing about it, his fucking reasoning was stupid. This motherfucker was just like, you ain't even go see your son, nigga. He in a hospital bed, dead, about to die. Why you ain't going to see him? Did he ask me?
He can't.
At all. He can't speak.
And you know he started this journey to find you, right?
Bro, did you see his body? He is 398 years old right now. This nigga is living on seconds. These machines is keeping him here. We couldn't even use the life support machines. We had to create shit. This nigga is a lab rat right now. We barely holding up.
How does a boy he met maybe 6 months ago do more for him than you've done in his entire life?
That's crazy.
What the fuck?
And I know I seen like a post that was talking about how flawed Gon and Killua's friendship is, and it makes no sense to me. They're children, and it takes nothing to be a friend. Killua had nobody. He was mistreated his whole life, and now he's actually, let's be real, for him as a kid, it'll be hard to find a fucking equal from how he was raised.
And he noticed Gon was the equal from the moment he met him, when he could keep up with him running during the first trial of the Hunter exam.
My nigga, you're not fucking like out of breath. You're doing this easily. I'm on a skateboard.
These people are either not boys or not men, or they're just stupid, or they just didn't have, like, if you were a child, if you were a boy as a child, then you have a firm understanding. All it takes is going outside in a new neighborhood and throwing rocks around or kicking a ball for somebody to come up and say, I want to play. And y'all are the bestest of friends from that day forward.
Yes.
That's all it takes. You don't even have to have anything in common besides I like to kick a ball.
Yeah, and let's be real. It wasn't Killua when he's like in his late teens. He's a child still, same as Gon. You could not fucking compare yourself to anybody. You sized Gon up though. I know you did.
Of course he did.
He definitely sized Gon up. But my thing is, you have never seen anybody your age with even a inkling of your ability, like just a little bit there. Mm-hmm. Then you finally see somebody who's like is yin and yang. Mm-hmm. This is like a perfect pure light right here. I'm complete darkness. Hey, let me chill around for a little bit, see how this little nigga is. If I don't fuck with him, I'm just gonna leave.
And he didn't jump. Gon didn't judge Killua when he ripped that nigga's heart out his chest.
No, Gon just was like, all right, who's next?
Exactly. So it's like you got a friend, you have somebody you just met who's almost on equal footing with you. You do the most heinous shit in the tournament, and they don't judge you at all. They're like, oh, that was cool, bro. Good work.
Well, Leorio and Kurapika did.
I'm just talking about Gon.
Nah, Gon looks at people for who they are immediately. Mm-hmm. Like Gon he's a child, but he had mature aspects to him.
He was like, that's who he is. I don't care.
He bagged a grown demon.
What?
You remember that one girl with the scissors who was crazy as a bitch? And she was just like, oh, fuck this shit, bro. I'm going to kill y'all. He was like, I'll take you on a date.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, this was like Chimera Ant arc.
I got to rewatch that arc.
She was like the girl with like the demon face with the long hair. And then he was just like, Gon just fucking riz that bitch up. And then soon as that happened, she was like, okay, that's cool. And then, Gon was doing all the training and shit. And then she was getting pissed. She was like, hurry the fuck up. She was like, what the fuck are you going to do? Like, and then Killer was like, do you realize what a date is? He was like, yeah, bro, I was bagging bitches back in the old island. He said it was a lot of women that came off the boat that just want a young dude, which is fucking crazy.
That is so gross.
And he's like, I went on many dates. And for him, she was just like, yo, are you fucking playing me? Are you leading me on, little nigga? I don't give a fuck if you 7. If you say you're going to go on a date, be a man of your word. He was like, I am going to be a man of a word, but I think that you deserve an actual good date. I don't have the funds or time to do it yet. But what I wanted to do was come up with, like, do an actual date. She said, well, what are you thinking? This nigga did the perfect line. He said, it's a secret. Heart exploded. I was like, go, nigga, bro. On my mama, I was taking notes. On my mama.
You an idiot.
I am not grown enough to not look at somebody way younger than me and get something from it. I was like, you know what? That little nigga got game. Got you, dog. Got you. All right. Every time my girl said, where you taking me? It's a secret. Got you, girl. Now we going to Chuck E. Cheese. I'm enjoying myself.
Putt golf, bitch.
Yeah, no, putt-putt's a good date. I don't care what anybody say.
It is.
It's a really good date.
Yes. Fairly good.
Yeah.
Watch her stroke.
Puff Daddy.
We're done.